If you want to get a leaner, more toned body, the first thing you need to understand is how fat loss actually works. In this video, I'm going to explain 3 things: how your body uses energy, how calorie math works in real life, and why understanding this foundation matters before you change what you eat and how you train. Let's start with metabolism. Metabolism simply refers to how much energy your body uses. Your body uses energy every day for several reasons. First, it uses energy just to stay alive. Breathing, circulation, digestion, brain activity, and organ function all require calories. This is your baseline energy use. Second, you burn energy through daily movement. Walking, standing, household tasks, errands, pacing, and small movements throughout the day all contribute to how many calories your body burns. Third, you burn energy through exercise, but it typically makes up a smaller share of your daily energy use than most people expect. And finally, your body uses energy to digest and process the food you eat. All of this combined determines how many calories your body burns in a day. You often hear that metabolism slows down as you get older, but in reality, metabolism doesn't suddenly drop because of age. I'm 40 years old, and my metabolism is better now than it was in my 30s. So what actually changes is behavior. As we get older, we tend to move less during the day. We sit more, walk less, and become more sedentary compared to earlier years. On top of that, muscle mass can gradually decline when strength training is not consistent. Both less movement and lower muscle mass decrease how much energy the body burns each day. And that's what creates the perception of a slower metabolism. Now let's talk calorie math. Fat loss requires a calorie deficit. That means that your body needs to use more energy than it receives from food. If someone's body uses around 2,000 calories per day, and they consistently eat around 1,800 calories, that creates a modest calorie deficit. And over time, that deficit leads to fat loss. If they eat more than their body uses, weight increases. If they eat less than their body uses, weight decreases. That principle does not change. What's important to understand is that this doesn't happen from 1 or 2 days. Eating more calories for a single day or even a few days does not automatically lead to fat gain. Weight gain happens when calorie intake exceeds energy use consistently over time, meaning weeks. And the same is true in the other direction. Eating slightly fewer calories than your body needs for a few days will not result in noticeable fat loss. Fat loss is a slow process. It requires a calorie deficit that is maintained consistently over weeks. This is where expectations often get misaligned. Now, tracking calories can help you understand portion sizes and eating patterns. For many, it can provide useful awareness, especially if they have never tracked their calories before. But it should be viewed as a learning tool, not a requirement. What matters far more than perfect tracking is the size of the calorie deficit and whether it is sustainable. Very aggressive calorie cuts, for example, a deficit of 500 calories or more, may lead to faster scale changes initially, but they are much harder to sustain. They often increase hunger, reduce energy, and make it difficult to preserve muscle and other possible health issues. A smaller, moderate deficit tends to work better. It allows fat loss while supporting energy levels, training performance, and muscle retention. The key is consistency over time. This brings us to an important clarification. Fat loss and toning are often described as 2 separate goals, but they are not separate processes. What people call toning is simply the visual result of losing body fat while maintaining or building muscle. Fat loss reveals muscle, and muscle gives the body shape and firmness. If weight loss happens without strength training or adequate nutrition, muscle is often lost along with fat. This is when the body looks smaller but not tighter or defined. And this is what people often call skinny fat. 2 people can lose the same amount of weight and look completely different depending on how much muscle they keep. Another common mistake is relying heavily on cardio to create a calorie deficit. Cardio does burn calories, but it can also increase appetite. You might unknowingly eat back the calories you burn, especially with high-intensity cardio. Now, it does not mean cardio is bad. It simply means that cardio alone is not a reliable strategy for reshaping the body. Preserving muscle and managing overall energy balance matter far more. Now that you understand how fat loss actually works, the next step is nutrition. Subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where we'll focus on protein and eating in a way that supports fat loss.